The verdict is in, and two of the three traders have been convicted. Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics, and just a quick video this morning with some news that came out late Wednesday afternoon. As you can see here, the JP Morgan spoofing trial, the verdict is in, and two of the three traders have been convicted. That includes Michael Nowak and Greg Smith. Greg, once the bank's top gold trader, and Michael Nowak, who is the former head of the precious metals desk, have been convicted of spoofing and wire fraud, not RICO charges, although the third executive, Jeffrey Ruffo, who was on the sales desk, was acquitted. Interesting here that while the prosecutors used charts of trades in order to show the pattern they said was spoofing, proving the case was harder than in some prior trials because they lacked chats or other messages to reveal the trader's intent for their orders. Certainly, that was a big part of what happened with Deutsche Bank a couple of years ago, where some of their traders in their chat transcripts were making some less than glamorous comments between them and some of the other banks. Although, as you can see here, in this case, jury cleared all three defendants of conspiracy and racketeering charges. David Meister, who was a former CFTC official before representing Mr. Nowak, says they'll continue to seek to vindicate his rights in court. I would imagine there will be an appeal here. And as I had mentioned a couple times before, the defense attorneys sought to undermine the credibility of the cooperating witnesses, pointing out that they had misled authorities in the past about their trading, although it seems like that was not sufficient. And two of the three JP Morgan executives have been convicted. Interesting note along with that, this came out last week where World Series of Poker player charged with spoofing the market. That's Daniel Shack, another gold and silver trader who also plays poker, which is interesting because Daniel Shack actually did get a settlement out of JP Morgan a couple of years ago. And now he is facing spoofing charges from the CFTC. So certainly a lot of spoofing has been going on in the gold and silver markets, and at least we're getting a little bit of resolution to some of the cases that were out there. One other note, as I'm sure you saw already, we did have the CPI released yesterday, which showed a little bit of a cooling off of the numbers. Certainly food and shelter were up, although the energy being down, certainly with gas prices, helped to bring the number down. CPI was actually unchanged in July versus June, although all items increased 8.5% year over year. And certainly, as I know you are well aware, prices of things are higher than before and not the easiest environment for folks. Not a very shocking reaction in the gold and silver markets yesterday, although with this news release, the probabilities of the 75 basis point hike at the Fed's September meeting have dropped a little bit, and certainly the market will be looking forward to that over the next month or so. And lastly, before we wrap up, wanted to mention that Wednesday afternoon, Fortuna Silver also released their results for the second quarter. Gold and silver production of 62,000 ounces and 1.65 million ounces, respectively, for gold equivalent production of 96,000 ounces. All-in sustaining cost, $11.51 for the Lindero mine, $15.65 for the Yaramoko mine. And on the silver side, $15.41 and $18.19 for San Jose and Coloma. Net income of $1.7 million or 1 cent per share. And Jorge Ganoza, the CEO of Fortuna Silver, will be joining Dave Kranzler and I on Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to talk a bit more about their earnings. Fortuna will be having a conference call on their own later this morning at 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can find that at fortunasilver.com. And again, on Friday, Jorge will be stopping by to talk with Dave and I and perhaps take some questions. So with that said, we'll wrap up for now, but just wanted to pass along that news. Hope you're having a great morning out there. And we'll see you later at the regular time today for Dave Kranzler's bi-weekly gold and silver report.